Okay, we lit it just like a fuse, so no need to pick and choose. Welcome to 2020, where we do more than interviews. The hottest be coming through, jumping knowledge on all of you. Get a peek at the front of you with the truth that they offer you. Yeah, hands up, we doing it for the culture. To give artists and businesses more exposure. Keeping it real and stay solid just like a boulder. It's about to go all the way down, can't get no lower. Chasing my dreams, know that they get no slower. But if I stay running, I promise they getting closer. Moreover, success my older. And if you're sleeping on me, I'm waking them up like Folgers. I told you, coming from the land with the tide roll. Well, we'll be on a whole different vibe though. We like to ride slow and keep our windows tinted so you really can see us like Stevie Wonder waking up with his eyes closed. Yeah, got the kind of flow that rock the boat. On my 16s of pounds of dope. And if you figure you can hang with me on the mic, then grab some rope. Matter of fact, better grab some hope. While you at it, we keep it live, it's time to tune in. Turn up the sound on what you're using. It goes so hard, I think it's bruising. The show is 2020, no need to zoom in. Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, Sir, of the 2020 Podcast, LLC. Please say the LLC because I worked hard for that. But anyway, we're doing another Business Minute. Today, I got two independent wrestlers, young black independent wrestlers today. I got Pure Ignorance in the building. How are y'all doing today, bro?
Doing great, brother.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Blessed to be on this podcast. Thanks for having us.
Hey, man, look, this is a new endeavor for my podcast that we're doing this. If anybody knows anything about some of us at 2020, because we're a group collective, kind of like a network to be, we are all huge wrestling fans, huge. And so one day we was like, you know what? What if we just started interviewing independent wrestlers? Like, what would they say if we just asked, to get them down here just to holler at us one-on-one? And we started sending out, fillers and emails. And honestly, the other day, I sent you a message and you replied almost immediately. I was like, yo, let's do it. I'm down. So again, I want to say thank you for taking time out of y'all day to do this, because y'all could be doing anything right now, but y'all chose to take this time and sit here and tell us about you guys' experiences. So thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. No problem. I do a podcast as well, so I've been on that end, trying hitting wrestlers up. So I totally understand.
Right. It's something. Let's just leave it at that. All right. So one of my first questions I want to ask, because you both have been here, and I did, like I said, I did do a little bit of background on you both. So if I may ask, the first thing I want to know, and we'll start with you, Chaz, and then we'll get to you, Prince, afterwards. How did you guys get into your first foray with professional wrestling?
So I guess I'll start off, and I'm gonna use the I don't hold no cut cards, and because in professional wrestling, this is kind of like the taboo to mention, but I did backyard wrestling. It's funny because a lot of people think that backyard wrestling kind of died off in the early 2000s, but backyard wrestling is still a very prevalent thing today. And I started backyard wrestling my sophomore year in high school, and I did that for legitimately 10 years. And I just stopped last year, and I just became a pro wrestler this year. I started my training in March. So wrestling has always just been in my life. I remember my earliest memory is going to Virginia with my grandmother, and every Monday night watching Raw, and every Friday night watching SmackDown, and she's like, "Gotta turn on my wrestling," and I've been hooked ever since.
All right, cool. Well, Prince Mac, what about you, bro?
For me, it was the same thing. We both went to the same school. My best friend, he hated me at the time because I was an asshole. I was literally an asshole in school.
He still is an asshole.
I still am an asshole, but it was way worse in high school.
Consistency.
He didn't like me, and I came up to him one day. I was like, "Yeah, I heard you do that backyard wrestling." And he was like, "Yeah, what of it?" I was like, "I want to be a part of that." And ever since then, I've been in it. I've had family that have taken me to wrestling shows, uncles and aunts that just love it. So it's always been like around. So I just love it.
Okay. And so you've been probably around the same time frame then, as far as experience goes.
Yes. I started professionally 2 years ago. I was actually going to quit. I wasn't doing stuff that I liked. They had me doing a character that wasn't me, and he actually saved my career. He actually helped me come back into it, honestly.
Wow. Okay. And we're going to come back to that because I want to hear that story. First, first person. So, with you guys having family that was, really into wrestling and it kind of passed on to you, kind of like that passion build. I have to ask this question going in. Was there any particular promotion that you found yourself gravitating towards, in your younger years?
So for me, the typical WWE, that's just. I mean, everyone thinks wrestling is WWE, but as you get older, you find out that there's wrestling isn't WWE. It's just one branch of WWE. But the one thing I can say that I was blessed with my grandmother was that she watched wrestling. So she watched WWE, but she also watched Impact. And I was fortunate enough to watch Impact right before it got stupid. When AJ Styles was there, right when Kurt Angle's around, 06 to I want to say 2011.
Okay.
I was really heavy on Impact, and that's what really wanted me to become a wrestler was AJ Styles. AJ Styles is one of my favorite wrestlers. I kind of I modeled off of AJ Styles, but Impact back then and Impact now, so post Slammiversary this year, Impact, and I watch a little bit of everything really. Nowadays though, I watch NWA, I watch ROH, watch a little bit of New Japan, MLW. I watch it all, and now with IWTV, I watch all the indie feds.
All right. Dope. You got a nice little repertoire of, of a collection there. What about you, Prince?
Always had WWE, of course. Everybody always watches like WWE back in the day. Currently, what I like ROW, Reality of Wrestling. C3, been watching them. Actually, we're on that show. But I like to watch and see what I can do to do better. Ring of Honor, I love the Pure Tournament. I love technical wrestling, so stuff like that. It really it motivates me. Seeing like Jonathan Gresham wrestle, like that dude is insane. I love watching this dude wrestle.
Okay. I like what you guys are getting into because, not gonna lie, when it comes to wrestling, not to show my age, but some of us older guys can kind of tend to be the gatekeepers of wrestling. Like, yeah, you like wrestling, but what you know about WCW, boy? What you, like you said, and you gave an abstract one. You said Reality of Wrestling, and that's Booker T's promotion that he's running out of Texas. And I'm a big fan of that one as well. So that's enlightening to see that you're checking out other promotions that aren't like the main stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's because essentially it's a kind of like his own training facility, because those are his students. And so that's really enlightening, because that's a great way to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on. You don't look at who's here now, you look at who's coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
So kudos to both of you. If I may say so myself, I'm a huge New Japan guy. I was elated with the G1 Classic this year. And I feel you when it comes to the technical wrestlers. I'm a huge Jack Sabre Jr. fan, because the things I can see him do with the human body is art. Is essentially amazing. It reminds me of the catch wrestling style of like the 1930s and things like that. But we'll get off about that. This is about you guys. So I gotta ask. I said I was gonna loop back around to this. How did you guys become a tag team?
So pretty much, we've been friends for what, 10 years or so, longer, probably
like that. You just won't leave.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're in abusive. Listen, I always say we're in an abusive relationship. I'm Tina, he's Ike.
Yeah, because at Garden we used to beat the hell out of each other. Mostly me beating the hell out of him, because he would hit us extra hard. So of course everyone would come to me and be like, "Yeah, you gotta make sure you hurt him this match." I'm like, "Okay, well, fine for you guys." But for a while, I wasn't doing anything I liked. Like I said, I was going under the name Jayden Miller. I had this little stupid Hollywood gimmick, and they wanted me to put like other people over. They wanted me to put this dude who like I said is a good friend of mine. They wanted me to put this big man over. I was supposed to be this little talking for him, Shawn Michael, but without the wrestling part. And I hated it. I hated every second of it because it wasn't who I was. It wasn't like they just wanted me to play a coward. And I was ready to quit. I started trying to do my own little thing, but it never caught on. And I was ready to quit. And one day I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm finished. This would be my last show. He was like, no, don't do that. I'm going to come train with you. Don't do it. Don't quit.
Whoa. That is a real thing. Burnout is the worst thing that could happen to a passion of yours. It's like a slow poison. And if I'm gonna be candid, there's levels to it. But once you hit that level of fuck it, which I feel like you were at, it's kind of hard to come back from that. So Chaz, on your end, like how did you go about recognizing this and working with them?
So like he had said, we've been friends literally for 10 years. And he was one of the people we call our little circle of yarders. There's a group of us that we call the originals. We call themselves the Generation Originals. It was the guys that were there when we were literally in the field of our high school, and then we stuck with it and moved up. When we were there during the humble beginning. So he was one of the originals. So, and I saw the talent that was there. I knew he was good, and he was good on that level even before he even got professionally trained. So I knew he had the talent. He was one of the first ones to make the step to go pro. And he was always technically sound. I've always told him he's a technical beast. If he gets out his head and just slows the fuck down, he's a technical beast. And he is. And I could tell he was doing stuff that he didn't like. And I like to tell him, I said, don't let these indie flippy dippy guys pollute the business. When you got actual talent, don't let these untalented marks pollute the business. You're talented. Give me just wait for me. I'll be up there, and that maybe we can do this tag team. And that's just happened. I just wasn't gonna let him quit, without at least trying to do this tag team thing with me. Because I hate singles wrestling.
Really?
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Wow. You know what? Now that you say it out loud, I can understand why, if I may assume why, if you give me just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
When you have someone like your relationship that you have with Prince, 10 years of chemistry, of working with each other, you know each other's moves, you know your transitions, you know when, something's coming. You can kind of speak to each other through body language.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So when you can get that consistently with someone, breaking apart from that and dealing with other people and having to learn their quirks and their quips and their tales and things, I can see how that can get to be kind of frustrating, especially if you aren't in sync. But if you have good harmony with Prince, I can understand why you want to keep that going, because at least at the end of the day, you guys are going to be on point.
Right. Facts. Yeah. And another thing is just like, if I'm gonna have fun doing this, I'm gonna have fun with my best friend. So I was like, why not? And I'm not gonna tag with no random schmuck. Like,
and in the beginning, like we didn't always have like the perfect move set. We're still learning, and we've actually just now started getting our moves down pat, making sure it looks perfect on screen. Like just talking to each other, communicating. How can we make this move better? How can we make our next tag team move look vicious? How can, it's always a communication thing with us. Like, we're constantly sending each other videos. We're constantly looking at other tag teams. We're constantly watching other promotions together to see, like, okay, well, what are they doing to get over? What are they doing to better themselves? And how can we add that to our repertoire?
So always got to, like we said, study your craft. You got to keep sharpening your blade. I believe it was Kofi Kingston who said that when he was explaining when he won the world title, that he just kept his blade sharp. after all those years of wrestling and being fed up, like you said, Prince, you know, Kofi also had a situation where he felt like he had reached the ceiling and he wasn't going anywhere. But an opportunity presented itself, and that's probably one of my top WrestleMania moments, being honest with you. So
Oh yeah.
for the culture, yeah, I just want to give you your flowers, Prince, on not giving up, even though you felt that it was close to it. You know, you had your fill of the bullshit. It's great to see that you had someone in your corner who saw more than you could at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing that a lot of people don't get. All right. So enough of the mushy bullshit. Let's get back to this wrestling. So let me ask you something. So, of course, you know I wasn't going to let you guys get away without asking this. If there was any tag team, living or dead, that you could have a program with today, like if we could get that bitch cracking right now, who would you select?
You know who I'm gonna say?
Go ahead.
The Gangsters. If you've seen any of our work, seen any of our promos, we are big New Jack fans.
Mm-hmm.
That New Jack said whatever came to mind and didn't care what bothered people. And that's exactly what we did. We're gonna say we've gotten so much crap for it, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're gonna say what we want to say. We want to say it how we want to say it, and you don't like it, then come to the ring and shut us up.
So my dream tag team match that I would love to have would be us. It's kind of a tie. It's us versus FTR, which is probably any tag team would say that. But I would have loved to face the prime of, you know, in their prime, the Rockers.
Whoa. Okay.
I would love getting in there with Marty Jannetty and Shawn at the prime. You did that's a 7-star classic right there. Kenny Omega couldn't lace my boots.
Hey, hopefully he hears that in response. Hopefully. I'm messing with you. I find that interesting because, of course, what people would mostly say is the Rockers who are reincarnated now are pretty much the Young Bucks. So again, it's enlightening to hear you say someone who is kind of like the precursor to the Young Bucks. You know, this also shows that you guys are really about this business, like you say you are. So I want to give you guys your flowers on that. I'm really impressed with what I'm hearing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You gotta be a student of the game. At the end, who said? He said, but in order to be, you know, really good at something, and if you really care and passionate about it, you gotta be a student of the game. So I feel like we really pride ourselves in trying to become students of the game, because, you know, eventually we want to be, you know, known as, you know, one of the best tag teams to ever step foot on the planet. Mm-hmm. You know, we want to be in that conversation when people talk about the best tag teams. They mention the FTR, they mention the Bucks, they mention all these other teams. I want Pure Ignorance to be featured in that conversation as well.
All right. I'm with it. So I have to ask and give my camera some time to catch up to what we're saying. Hold on. Come on. We good? Okay, I think we're good. All right. So who came up with the name Pure Ignorance?
So Pure Ignorance, it was our group's name. We are, about 6 or 7 of us, 6 or 7 of us that just are friends, that have been friends since we started yarding together, been friends since, you know, high school. That was our group name, Pure Ignorance. So I was like, why change it? Why change anything that we're doing? This is us. This is who we are. Mm-hmm. So we might as well keep going with who we are.
Okay, keep it close to home. Stone Cold once said something, and I'm a huge fan of his podcast as well. He mentioned that your character is just an amalgamation of who you are, just dialed up to 11.
Yep.
So the fact that you're taking your personal experience of your personal, you know, relationship and just cranking that bitch up and adding attitude with it, I'm with it. And I find it funny that you guys mentioned that, you know, you studied, or Prince did. He mentioned that you guys studied the Gangsters. I saw that promo that you guys did on Instagram, and I was laughing my ass off because I was like, this reminds me of a particular attitude of someone, but I couldn't put my finger on it. But now that you say it,
Yeah. And we got a lot of. That was one of the promos that we got a lot of shit for. Like when we first came out, and we was like, all right, we're gonna do something different because a lot of indie guys, they don't shoot promos, they don't talk. There's no need. If you can flip and you can do a 450, you can do a 630. Why you need to talk for? So we was like, all right, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna talk. We're gonna say stuff. We're gonna make people listen. And when we said that, we had so many people listening, whether it was good or whether it was bad.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing is this: we ain't tell a lie.
you know, it was supreme facts. It was extremely large facts being spit. It was just the audacity of it. And as long as they're reacting, you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yep. And that's what I told Prince. I said, because he was like, oh, was we going too far? I said, listen, if we going too far, all right, let's take it even further. I was like, they'll tell us when we have to dial it back.
Mm-hmm.
If no one's telling us to dial it back, let's keep pushing the envelope. Because what we do, and I'm gonna keep it $150, like we make white people mad. We make white people mad with what we say. And I mean that's what it is. So let's push the envelope. Let's keep poking the bear until the bear bites back. And so far the bear hasn't bit back yet. So
exactly. Because honestly, we're taking everything that's going on in today's society. Because why not? Yep. Why not use what's going on? Why not use like Black Lives Matter? Because that's our life. That's what we're constantly having to deal with. So why not use that?
I'm a proponent of that, bro. And I'm glad that you're using it in a way that brings more attention to it, because it needs to be known that we do matter. I don't care what they feel like it means. They can take their interpretation and shove it somewhere. But at the end of the day, they're going to know that we matter. And I appreciate you guys for doing that, honestly. Really.
Oh, yeah. The ultimate goal is just, like, it shouldn't have took this long for Kofi Kingston, or not even just say Kofi Kingston himself, but a Kofi Kingston to have that moment at WrestleMania.
Right.
It shouldn't have taken us this long to have, to showcase Black wrestlers, not just shucking and jiving, and, to show us in serious lights and actual serious characters. So, we just want to do that on a tag team basis because besides honestly, the Nation, really, who were a good Black tag team that you can name off that's besides the New Day recently?
Recently? It's tough.
No, exactly.
Exactly.
Well,
so it's like Black wrestlers can, make money. You can promote Black wrestlers and your shows, people will come to your shows. Like, they're marketable. And, and they're marketable just being themselves and not just being,
a quarter.
Dancing all around like that.
Yep.
We're not seeing wrestling.
Honest. I love this, guys. I love this. You guys have said a mouthful. So I'm going to end this with my final question. And it's kind of like my infamous one because it's kind of a long-term question and you guys are young, so fuck it. All right. So where would you guys like to see yourselves, whether it be in the industry or just overall? Because as Black people, as gentlemen, as young men, you guys are more than just wrestlers, of course. Where would you like to see yourselves in 1 year, in 3 years, and in 10 years?
Go ahead, you go first.
So, okay. In a year, I definitely think we would be really, as I think, tipping the iceberg as far as getting our names out there. I think, once the pandemic and everything blows over finally, and when fans are allowed to start coming to shows and more shows are starting to run, I truly feel like, we will be seen more. So I think our name's going to get out there more. 3 years, I definitely can see us starting to hit that that indie scene where we're looking at an ROH, MLW, possibly in New Japan. And in 10 years, best believe one of us is turning on somebody in the feud on WWE or AEW.
I love it. I love it. What about you, Prince?
In a year, definitely, like you said, just finally getting that recognition that because we're getting it now. Like I said, we've done podcasts. We're getting people are seeing, they're loving the promo. In 3 years, I think definitely ROH, MLW, Impact, maybe even an appearance or two on AEW, like KC just did, KC Navarro. In 10 years, I definitely want to be a trainer. Like I said, I love wrestling, and I want to help the next person that, show them like, hey, I wasn't always like this. I wasn't always successful. I started off, like I said, doing something I didn't like, but I found myself, and I'm still finding myself. It's all about time and finding yourself and just doing what you love.
Hey, I love it, brother. I love it. Listen, I'm going to be rooting for y'all the entire way. Like I said, ever since I heard that promo, I was like, oh, bet. So let me ask you guys, if anybody wanted to follow you guys on whether it be on social media or just wanted to see some of your work, how could they get in contact with your content?
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, I got TikTok. Hey, all the kids are doing it. You can find it's Chaz_the Don. That's me on everything. You can also find our matches or on YouTube. You can just type in Chaz the Don, or no, the Don Chaz Evans, and that's Chaz with a Z. And you can see all our matches on there. I'm trying to learn how to work YouTube because for some reason I grew up with YouTube and I don't know how to use it. So like funny story, when I made the account, I'm trying to get all, I'm like, why is this so confusing? I just want to upload a match and tags and comments. I'm like, what the? Just put the shit up there. But yeah, you can find that. Also, our merch. Like you can get like we have merch at whatamaneuver.com. Type in Pure Ignorance. You can get this wonderful design right here, our Pure Violence design, tribute to one of the greatest albums of all time, Stank On Ya. And or you can get our catchphrase, which is Duffin Season. You can get a Duffin Season shirt, but that's whatamaneuver.com. Then just type in Pure Ignorance, and that's where you can find me and all that merch. Gotta say that merch.
And me at Instagram at X_Prince Machiavelli _X, and on Facebook and everything else, just Prince Machiavelli. That's all you gotta do. Like I said, definitely you can cop. You see it in the background. Look at this amazing shirt. Come on, y'all know y'all want to go on What a Maneuver. Cop a shirt. Support. Black wrestlers. Black wrestlers matter. And yeah.
Hey, and there it is, bro. Couldn't say it any better. And while they were talking, I'm pretty sure you saw the graphic I put pop up by their name. So click on that shit and follow them because they are genuinely hilarious. And that being said, again, guys, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to do this interview because you could have skipped over this message. You could have put me on scene and just not replied, but you did. So that being said, thank you again.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you for having. Thank you for just sending a message.
Hey man, always glad to support my brothers. And that being said, this has been your boy Sir of the 2020 Podcast LLC. Don't you forget the LLC. And look, again, Pure Ignorance. Follow them, YouTube. You already know what to do. And if you get a chance, go check out that promo. It is hilarious. So again, your boy Sir, and we are out.